दूसरा क्वेश्चन, law and ethics are considered to be the two tools of controlling human conduct as to make it conducive to civilized social existence. Discuss how they achieve this objective. B. Giving examples show how the two differ in their approach. So, law and ethics are two control used by society and state to control the conduct in order to provide for the civilized social behavior. They both determine right and wrong of any action. तो देखते हैं अचीवमेंट ऑफ A. Achievement of objective. Create sanction around it. Law and ethics both provide for the sanction on the human for violation of accepted conduct. Example, for violation of the traffic law, a challan is issued. Similarly, societies have provided for social boycott for violation of ethical conduct. सोशल बाइकआउट आप कर सकते हैं फॉर वायलेशन ऑफ ट्रैफिक लॉ चालान होता है लेकिन सोशल बाइकआउट का आप यूज कर सकते हैं एथिकल कंडक्ट के लिए प्रोवाइड स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ बिहेवियर बोथ एथिक्स एंड लॉ प्रोवाइड फॉर एक्सेप्टेड स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ बिहेवियर example telling lie is an unethical conduct in society one cannot raise hands on a duty police officer else it's a punishable offense so telling a lie क्या ये ethical है no not unethical है ठीक है झूठ बोलना now provide incentive for positive conduct provide incentive for positive conduct. Both ethics and laws use positive reinforcement to provide incentive for positive conduct. Helping others in crisis strengthens one's voice of conscience. Helping others in the crisis strengthens one's voice of conscience. Good Smartians rules provide for incentive to help road accident victims. Ensure universality of conduct. Both laws and ethics are applicable equally on everybody. Thus ensure similarity of conduct. Example, Kantian ethics require one to conduct action which would be universal in nature. Laws follows constitutional principle of rule of law and principle of equality mentioned under Article 14. लेकिन Kant ethics requires one to conduct action which would be universal in nature. Universal in nature. Kantian ethics यही है. Define Kantian ethics in one word. तो universal in nature. So how two different approach? तो nature हो गया. सबसे पहले laws involuntary यानी कि ethics हो गया आपका voluntary. So example, adherence to traffic law is necessity for all while it is not case while speaking truth. Action of violation attracts penalty, not the case. Telling lie in the court is treated as contempt of court and is liable via imprisonment, but telling lie in the family will not attract any punishment. External in nature, where government force is required to implement it. Ethics is internal in nature, where individual moral values decide the following ethics. Not allowing smoking in the train requires presence of police personnel to prevent it, but respect of the elders require moral values of the individual. Moral values of the individual. Time constraint है, changes from time to time. Laws changes from remains constant throughout the time relatively. Sati was once allowed but banned later onwards, while killing others have been unethical actions since the time of Ramayana. Universality changes from country to country, and constant. So universality laws का क्या changes from country to country, constant across the country. यही Kantian philosophy है. USA traffic law are different than Indian, while the ethics value of humanity, empathy remains same. Empathy remains same. So laws and objective are two important tools to govern the human conduct. Laws and ethics are two important tools to govern human conduct. They both are supplementary to each other and provide an holistic view which is beneficial to individual and society both. Now, our attitude toward life, work, other people, and society are generally shaped unconsciously by the family and social surrounding in which we grow up. Some of these unconsciously acquired attitude and values are often undesirable in the citizen of a modern democratic and egalitarian society. Discuss such undesirable value prevalent in today's educated Indians. How can such undesirable attitude be changed and socio-ethical values considered necessary in public services be cultivated in the aspiring and serving civil servant? Consciously and unconsciously, our attitude are influenced by both implicit and explicit by family, society, and peer groups, media, social convention, and teacher. Family, society, peer groups, media. and social convention and teacher. ये कौन किसका था? एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम का स्टेटमेंट था। ये रिपीटेड क्वेश्चन भी है। सो अनडिजायरेबल वैल्यूज प्रेवलेंट इन टुडेज एजुकेटेड इंडियंस है क्या? सेल्फलेसनेस। Selfishness. Nowadays, everyone is aiming to achieve their selflessness, their own personal selfish goals and values of compassion, pity, and sympathy is declining. Compassion, pity, and sympathy is declining. Political leaders often use caste politics, vote bank politics, which only fulfill their interest and has no public interest. Second, apathy. People are unconcerned about other people, concerned and guided by their own ego and concerns only. During the road accident, people often act as a bystander than providing help and support to victim. Apathy हो गया. Selfishness. Now greed. The desire for money and luxury lifestyle is growing among public, leading to corruption in society. Satyam scam, yes bank scam, or example of white collar people engaging in building personal wealth. Intolerance को देखते हैं तो the ability to bear the opinions or expression of others is decreasing, which is critical component in maintaining peace and harmony in our heterogeneous society. Muhammad Akhlaq was lynched in UP in accusation of keeping the beef, highlighting the rise of intolerance in society. Gender bias हो गया. Despite their education, people still view the women as inferior members of society. Examples, according to NCRB, violence against women are on rise in society. बढ़ ही रहा है. Caste system पे आएंगे. Despite our country's independence, the caste system still exists in our society. Honor killing, manual scavenging are still common forms of caste prejudice. Dowry को देखते हैं तो dowry, a large number of Indian women have been victims of dowry related crimes. Even many educated young people are asking for dowry. So changes in values among the civil servant. Emphasize on idols during interview. In comparison to his intelligence, more emphasis would be placed on assessing the candidate's attitude towards societal idols. Changes in the syllabus. The syllabus should be changed to reflect social principle and to inculcate the modern principles. Training courses. Officers who lack basic value should get frequent training and counseling at various levels. Incentive for modern values. Government must give incentive to people who are hardworking, honest, and efficient by better posting. Enacting code of ethics. Government must follow second ARC advice and enforce the professional code of ethics. Cultural mix, intermixing with persons from different cultural backgrounds and ethnicity improves attitude and respect for mutual viewpoints. Role of modeling. The great leader idea should be spread among the civil servant to inspire them to instill these ideas. So conclusion पे आते हैं. Thus, in order to inculcate modern values in general public, we need to make our administration more and more progressive, which will lead to percolation. पर मतलब नीचे तक जाना. Percolation of such values downwards. 7 पे आते हैं. Anger is harmful, negative emotion. It is injurious to both personal life and work life. Discuss how it leads to negative emotion and undesirable behavior. How can it be managed and controlled? So anger क्या है आपका? एक negative state of mind है. Negative state of mind that occurs when things do not go as planned or when we are unable to meet our expectation. Anger nature is unpredictable, destructive, and dangerous. So it has a number of negative consequences, including poor relationships, violence, and the erosion of kindness, understanding, and patience. It can lead to further manifestations such as crime, drug abuse, exploitation, dominance, and in the long run, lack of acceptance, orthodoxy, intolerance, and introversion in society. Anger leads to negative emotion and undesirable behavior. Negative emotion, rigidity. Anger people are very non-learning in nature, become non-adaptable with changes. Terrorists could not accept the changes realities of time and thus strike terror to maintain their relevance. No respect for human values. Anger person has no respect of human values and engages in violence. Most domestic violence happens after one partner getting angry over other due to some issue, development, hatred. Anger brings the emotion of hatred towards the other, which can convert into violence at any moment. Mob lynching at many places were a sudden outburst of anger due to rumors. Feeling of revenge. Anger strengthens the feeling of revenge within the individual, eats him from within. Hitler's anger towards the Jews made him perform the genocide of whole population. Undesirable behavior destroy rationality. It makes it impossible for a person to make decision based on knowledge and cost-benefit analysis. People who are angry may engage in road rage, causing them to be late for their journey. Ego boosting. Anger-related actions are only ego boosting exercise carried out to satisfy one's own ego rather than based on circumstances. Rather of quietly resolving the matter, people engage in mob lynching is an encouraged state to assert their supremacy over other community members. Selfish nature. When someone is angry, they become selfish and don't consider other people's perspective. Losing control. People lose control of their intelligence and ideals during the anger. Managing and controlling the anger. Don't overwork. Instead, one should do as much one can efficiently without jeopardizing one's health. Don't overwork. Okay. Communicating with loved ones. Humans are social beings. Communicating with others lessens our lessons यानी कम कर देता है our stress. Talk to your friends circle. Engaging in sports another form of physical activity can utilize to channelize the energy. Honesty and acceptance. The concept can reduce the gap between desire and reality or provide a strength to live with reality. Hobbies. People will be able to express their feeling in more creative ways, such as through painting, dancing, traveling, thus controlling the anger. Meditation. Basic techniques such as focusing on breath or observing stillness for a period of time can provide great mental tranquility. Developing introspection skill. As Buddha remarked, the source of our warmth is always within us, not without us. Anger management requires confrontation of our own thought and behavior pattern. Conclusion. Holding anger is like ingesting poison and expecting someone else to do. As a result, moral and spiritual awakening are necessary to raise the threshold of patience and tolerance in order to overcome warmth.